doing on this hump day? Here at the Vape Budget, we're doing a hump day review. And today it's the Orchid V2.4. And let me tell you guys, it chucks some clouds. So stay tuned. Check that out, that's out of the tank, baby. The Orchid V2. I got this a while back. Finally getting a review out to you guys. Is giving the Fogger V4 a run for its money. And a little confession, I haven't vaped on my Fogger since I've got the Orchid. I bought 4 of them. I got 2 for me, this one here, and this one here. I got this one at 0.5 and this one at 0.3. Today we're gonna do a build on the Orchid. Let me get that sucker over there. All right, before I drop it. Today we're gonna do a build for you guys on the Orchid and a little review at 0.5 ohms. Gonna try to get them around 0.5 right there for you with some 26 gauge Canthal. And same build I got on this right here. I've done builds all over the place from 0.2 all the way up to 0.8, 0.9. I like the 0.5 build with the 26 gauge. The one I'm going to do for you guys today, I like it the best. But my vape preference is going to be different than yours. And as always, build at your own risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you dive in and start building coils. Thick and cool, just the way I like it, baby. Flavor out of this thing's awesome. Airflow out of this thing is awesome. You can't beat it. Holds 3.5 mils. Well, no, not 3.5. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Where's my notes? It holds 2.5 to 3 mils. So you got plenty of room in there for lots of juice. It's a 28 millimeter mod, so it's gonna fit really nice on your 18650 28 millimeter mods. Gotta make sure I put all that in there. I don't tend to get too technical in my reviews, width, height, all that. I don't. I'm letting you guys know I got the Orchid and how it vapes and the best build that I have found on it. That's how I'm gonna do my reviews. If you guys want a more technical review, check out some other reviews. That's how I roll. Nice clouds, baby. So all right, let's dive down. I'll show you guys the Orchid V2 and let's do a build on it for you guys to show you how to wick this baby. And I've got no gurgling, no dry hits, and no leaking out of this tank since I've got it. I had it for about, what, 3-4 weeks now? Like I said, no burnt hits, no leaks with this build. Other builds, I've had some leaking, I've had some burnt hits, but with this build right here that I'm going to show you today, it just vapes perfect. So let's dive down and do this build, shall we? Oh yeah, we're going to get to building. All right, guys, here we are up close with the Orchid V2.4. It's a very nice looking RTA. As far as packaging goes, I ordered 4 of these. One of them came in this nice box here, but the only thing it came with was an Allen wrench, no O-rings, no wicks, no nothing, and the Allen wrench didn't even fit the mod. So one of them came in this box here with Allen wrench screws on the posts, and then the other 3 came in little boxes like this with a little bit of wire, a little bit of wick, and a little micro screwdriver, tons of extra O-rings and extra screws in there, and of course the RTA. And the post in this one is the Phillips head. So I wish they'd have sent me all 4 in this one here, because like I said, the other one is Allen wrench head and I don't have an Allen wrench to fit that one. I ended up using one of my micro flathead screwdrivers to tighten down the posts on that one. But today we're going to use the one with the Phillips heads in there and do a nice build on for it. So alright, let's dive into this Orchid V2 here. Very nice machining on it as far as the aesthetics go. Polycarbonate tank is the clouded tank here, kind of frosted look to it. You can see the logo through there still, even with e-juice in there, and you can see it even better with e-juice in there if it's not a dark e-juice. All your 510, all my 510 drip tips fit in there very nice. Let me grab another one here. Had one on one. This is just one off one of my tanks. I don't know which one it came with, but actually it fits in there really tight, so, but not too tight it's hard to get in and out. So very nice 510 connection on the drip tip. As far as the bottom of this goes, 510 threaded. Threading on this is very nice. It goes in all of my mods very easily. Let me show you on my which one's my Carvella here. See, look at that. I mean, it's just there, it's smooth, and when it's down it doesn't wobble at all. So when it gets up a little bit it does wobble, but once you crank it down, I mean, it's solid. So nice threads on the 510, and it does have a adjustable center post or adjustable positive pin here. You can adjust that out for your to fit your various mods that you want to put this on. As far as airflow goes, this thing has really nice airflow, about perfect with the way I like to vape on an RTA. And we got that's a 2.5, so we got about 2 millimeter airflow holes coming in, and just aesthetically it's very nice. So let's open it up and show you all the bits and pieces. There's your top cap there with your O-ring. Now this O-ring here always comes off, well, about 90% of the time comes off when I do go to fill the tank. And you do have to take the top cap off of this to fill it on this version. The rest of them have a screw in the bottom, which I definitely would have preferred to fill this from, but this one didn't have it. I didn't even look when I ordered it, so note to self. And then you got your polycarbonate section here. Nice threads on it too. I just get real leery when I have a plastic tank with threads on it, afraid of stripping it out. I don't know if the version 3 or 4 comes with different a different tank setup or not, but that polycarbonate tank kind of freaks me out, stripping that out. So definitely, if you have one of these or order one of these, just be careful when you thread that on there. You don't want to strip out that plastic tank. So, and here's your center cone, or your center tank section, or your plume, or whatever you want to call it here. Chimney, I guess, another word for it. That comes off, and you do have the 4, oops, make sure I get this in frame here. You do have the 4 wicking channels here with the 2 airflow holes, one coming in from this side and up right here on this side of the deck, and one coming in this side and right up here through the deck. And on the mid center here, it's just under 2 millimeters. So I'm just going to say about 1.8 or just a 2 millimeter airflow that this has. And my prayers, or my wishes, I guess I should say, have been answered. Finally, we got an RTA that has the posts with the holes in it, so we can tighten down our coil leads right there. A lot easier to attach dual coils on this versus the like the fogger. So very nice there. And plenty of room there to do clear down to 22 gauge. I don't have anything smaller than that. If you did like a quad coil on this, you might have a tough time going over 26, maybe 24. You might be able to do quad coil with 24 in this, but dual coils on this are plenty. And the threads on the screws are very nice. The screw does get a little bit, show you guys here, the screw does get a little bit wobbly when you get to the top of the threads here, but that's right at the end. So machining wise, it's good. I'd give it out of 10 for machining. I'd give it about a 7 or an 8. So alright guys, there's the Orchid V2.4 or V2, I guess. All the bits and pieces of it there. So, all right, let's get to the fun part and do a build on this. Today we're going to be using 26 gauge Canthal. We're going to wrap it around a 2mm screwdriver, and we're going to go with 10 wraps. So let's start on our first one here real quick and knock this build out and see how it vapes. So, all right, to start out, you're going to want to leave, I'm going to guess, probably at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch out there for a lead when you start your coil. And then we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, screw that one up, 8, 9, 10. Hunt your coil down, just about like that. Alright, we'll snip that one off and do our second coil here. And I'm hoping I have enough butane in here, butane left, to get these coils torched. I'm running low on butane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you want your leads on this coming off in the same direction, so when you attach it, just like that. And compress it down. This is one of the main reasons I like to use these micro screwdrivers versus a just a drill bit or a nail or whatever to build my coils on, because you can push that coil up against the edge of the micro screwdriver there to kind of help compress it down. Go ahead and snip that lead there. Alright, we'll get these torched up here real quick and get them put on the deck. Alright, we'll go ahead and torch our second one here. Now, I am moving kind of quickly through this. If you're new to building coils, definitely check out my other videos on how to build a micro coil. I've done several builds on this from 22 gauge on up to 28 gauge, and I like the 26. I like this build right here with the 2mm. Gives me enough cotton to get good wicking and nice flavor out of it and good vapor. So, all right, our first coil. Ooh, that baby's still hot. Woo! I don't know if you can hear that. My finger sizzling on video or not. Man, careful, guys. So, all right, guys, we're gonna go right into the positive or the negative right here, and the first positive slot. If you do a bigger coil, or you can spread that coil out and go into the second slot there in the positive, but I like to just go right into, if I can get them in the hole there. Get in the hole. Right there, it looks more even, and then we'll leave a little bit of room there to center our coil. So, all right, we'll go ahead and tighten down our negative. Make sure they're tight, but don't over tighten them and strip out your post. Tighten down our positive. Voila, I'm gonna go ahead and center that coil, lift it up a little, just about like that, right over that air hole, and pull it up. Voila. Go ahead and snip those leads off, and then we'll attach our second coil. Alright, we'll go ahead and attach our second coil here. Snug those babies up. My screwdriver's falling apart. And then we'll go ahead and center our second coil. Lift it up. And there we go. Snip our leads on that one. Just like, oops, sorry, I had to look, guys. Alright, just like that. I want to make sure they're even. Go ahead and pull that one side up a little bit, and there we go. Voila, we'll check our ohms and see where we're at. See if we came out right where we want to be. 0.49. We wanted the build at 0.5. We came out at 0.49. That is close enough for me. Yeah, baby. All right, let's get this bad boy wicked up. Let's go ahead and leave it right on there. All right, now ready to wick the orchid here, and I have found that less cotton is definitely better. So you want your cotton fairly loose going through there. Look at that. So about like that. You're just gonna have to play with it and find out what works best for you. And also, just like in the fogger, I cut my cotton at an angle. So just pull our cotton down and see how I got the scissors. Just right there, and I'll cut it at an angle, and I'll show you once we get these saturated, and we'll tuck them just barely into those channels right there. And cut the other side here. And then I'll just take the end of this one and wick our other side. Now I do have some Japanese cotton, and I have used it in my other orchid. It's in this one right here. But thanks to Smooth Liquid. Thank you guys for sending me that. But I'm not using it in this one because a lot of you guys don't have that Japanese cotton, so we're just gonna go ahead and use organic cotton here, the regular balls, and then to show you guys on the wicking technique on this orchid. Go ahead, and then I'll show you again. Just take your scissors and cut that cotton just at an angle, just like that. So alright, we're going to put some black honey tobacco from Smooth Liquid in this. Go ahead and just saturate your cotton a little bit. Not too much. Just make sure it's nice and wet. Just go ahead and play with it a little bit, you know, like you would anything else, and get it a little bit wet. Not too wet though. You don't want to be slopping around in there. So alright guys, we got our cotton saturated here, and you can see we cut that at an angle. You can kind of see it right there. This little bit of a tip coming off there where we cut it in at an angle, you just barely want to tuck that into the top part of that channel. Just like that. Grab this one, you can pull it out and see how it comes out to a point right there. Just like that. Just take that in and just barely tuck it in there. And then bring the rest of the cotton down to it. Just like that. We'll go ahead and do the other side here. I like to just pull it up. Oops. Find that edge, that corner, and then just tuck the rest of the cotton down. Just like that. Look how pretty that is. You can see on each one of those channels, just that cotton's just barely tucked in. Some a little bit more than others, but just barely have that cotton tucked in there. And that'll help keep it from flooding, because on this orchid especially, that channel comes up and is even with that airflow hole. So if you do get some flowing up in there, it's going to gurgle and leak very easily. So, and I have not had this tank gurgle or leak at all. Even pulling the top cap off to fill it, hasn't leaked one bit. And that's the same way I wick my foggers. So go ahead and put the chimney on here. So alright, there we go. There's the chimney on there. 0.5 ohm build on this bad boy. Let's go ahead and get the tank section on here. Put some juice in here and give it a vape. So all you do is put the plastic tank, polycarbonate tank on there. Add some e-juice right in through the top on this one. Like I said, the other ones do have the bottom fill screw in the bottom of the RTA, which would work a lot better. But once you do a fresh build on it, I just go ahead and fill it from the top anyways, if I did have that screw on the bottom. So alright, we got our O-ring in the top part of the cap here, and we'll go ahead and screw the top section of the tank on, just like that. Threads are nice. Alright, there we go guys. Let's give this bad boy a vape, shall we? And it was a really easy build. Having those holes in the positive and negative posts to put your wire through and tighten it down makes it so much easier on these RTAs. Hopefully other manufacturers, when they come up with new models, new tanks, new designs, put that in there. It makes it so much easier to do dual coils on these. Single coils, not that big of a deal. Dual coils, a lot easier. So we got on top of the King 2 clone that I got, brass. I just had a fresh battery put in already, so I thought let's vape it on that. But let's give it a vape at 0.5 ohms and see what kind of a cloud we can get out of this orchid. Check that out. This thing is giving the fogger a run for its money. And I think the flavor out of this orchid is a little bit better than the fogger. Let's give it another vape. Thick and cool, baby. Thick and cool. Fits right into how I like to vape. The way I like to vape. It's a little bit warmer than the fogger, but we went with a 0.5 build. Most of my fogger builds I go with a 0.6 or 0.7, just because trying to get 26 gauge or 24 gauge wrapped around those posts in that fogger is a pain in the butt. And no gurgling at all. I can blow in this sucker and blow in this sucker, shake it, tip it, refill it, take the cap off, refill it, do whatever, and I don't get any gurgling out of this, leaking, nothing whatsoever. And that's just that little trick of cutting that cotton at an angle, whether you're using organic cotton, Japanese cotton. Let's say you're doing a build with silica wick in there. Cut that silica wick at an angle, just tuck the corner in there, and you shouldn't have any problems with leaking or gurgling, and it wicks great. You can vape on this sucker, chain vape on this sucker, and not get any dry hit. On a side note of the orchid, I did a couple builds with 2.5 and 3 millimeter screwdrivers. Did that bigger coil in there with 22, 24, 26 gauge. It didn't really matter. And if I got my ohms down below 0.5, let's say 0.3 with those bigger coils, I got burnt hits out of it. But going with a 2 millimeter coil in here, it doesn't really matter. I did a build on this at 0.2 with that 2 millimeter screwdriver and never got any burnt hits out of it. I don't know what it is with the bigger coils, more cotton in there. Like I said, with this orchid, less cotton is better. You want that cotton loose going through the coil, kind of not falling out. It stays where you put it, but definitely you don't want your cotton taut when you're pulling it through there. So on this build, I would go with a little less cotton than normal. If you like to have your cotton tight, taut when you're pulling it through, tight in there, try a little bit less if you do get burnt hits in this, and you should be good to go to chain vape on your orchid. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of chain vaping on this and see if we get some burnt hits on this one. Deep breath. Nothing. Not one burnt hit. I don't know how many that was. 6 or 7 chain vapes on it. Big chain vapes. Woo! Not a burnt hit. So that's definitely a good build for the orchid. If you're having troubles with your orchid, try that build with the 2 millimeter. Go a little bit loose with your cotton and cut it at an angle. Just barely tuck it in there and you should be good to go on this. All in all, I like the orchid. It's great. Fits right into my style of vaping with the nice, cool, dense cloud. You can always try to win because I have 2 of these 4 giveaways that will be coming up on this channel. So you never know, you might win one. And if you guys win one, if you like, I'll go ahead and do a build on those for you when they come up for giveaway. I don't know when. I know when, but I'm not going to tell you guys when those are going to come up for giveaway. So alright guys, thanks for watching. I've been rambling long enough. Like the orchid. Vape's great. Nice clouds. So alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, please live and let live. Have fun living your life and have fun watching people live theirs.